本についてお聞きください。今日本をそのアジアの中でもってどのように成長すると思いますかっていうことと、あと日本企業いわゆる国全体というよりかは企業の中でどこかこう注目されているような企業ありますか？日本企業。
So first question is Japan. So from the perspective of the 10 years and from the perspective of Asia, how do you think about the Japanese companies and the Japanese economy? And then, so which industry are you focusing to in Japan?
Okay. As you know, the Japanese economy will be shrinking this year. So the economic situation now is not very good, but we see recovery next year. And as regards to the Japanese companies, they are now very, very cheap. They're very good value in Japan now. And most important of all, the Japanese companies are now buying back their own shares, which is a good sign. So I would say this is probably a good opportunity to buy Japanese stocks. And I would concentrate on those companies with high technology that is required in China and in the rest of Asia, because that's where the opportunity will be for Japanese companies going forward.
Yeah, for example, like technology companies.
Any of the technology companies, whether it be Toshiba or Matsushita or any of those companies.
It's kind of blue chips.
Blue chip companies, yes.
How about the bank?
The banks, we have to be a little more cautious because of the global economic situation. But I believe the banks are in very good shape as well. So I think it's something to look at on a very selective basis. Yes.
アジアについてお聞かせください。世界の中で一番アジアを注目されていると思うんですが、中国を筆頭に、その中でモビアさんが注目しているアジアの企業をいくつか教えてください。
So the same question about Asia. So from the perspective of the world economy, so how do you think about the Asian countries? Asian companies and the Asian economy?
Well, the great thing about Asia today is that you have two of the most populated countries in the world, China and India, who will be growing the fastest. China is expected to grow between 7 and 8%, India between 5 and 6%. This will have incredible impact on the rest of Asia, including Japan, because these countries, of course, they export, but they also must import. And they need technology. They need fine equipment. They also are interested in luxury goods, quality goods that's being made in Japan and in the rest of Asia. And they need commodities. So these countries will be importing commodities from Southeast Asia, from Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and they will be buying technology from Japan, Korea, Taiwan. So we are quite positive on the outlook for the Asian economies.
You mean 10 years or 5 years or 4 years?
1, 2 years.
2 years.
We believe there will be recovery next year easily.
So are you including Australia?
Yes, of course. Australia will benefit from a recovery of the commodity prices, because commodity prices will recover from their low point now, and Australia will, of course, benefit.
So could you give us a kind of detailed company's name as well? For example?
Well, I think I can't give you exact company names, but I can say this. Any company involved in consumer products, in high technology, and commodities. Those 3 categories would be good.
What kind of consumer products? It's like eating things or using materials?
Yeah, anything that involves value-added products. That could be including food, processed foods. It could include garments and accessories. It can include electronics products, of course, mobile phones, for example, and services.
So you think China Mobile is kind of...
Yeah, that's an example. That's an example.
中国企業一番ファンドの中でも多いですね。アジアファンド。
So your fund buying a lot of Chinese companies, huh?
Yes. China, for our global funds, is the largest holding. Second is Brazil.
Yeah.
ブラジル。
2番目はブラジルなんですね。
普通はチャイナ&香港。中国企業と香港企業。
It's the Chinese companies listed in Hong Kong. Yeah, the H shares and the red chips.
Why you like H shares, not A shares?
The H shares are very good because they're selling at a 50 or 60% discount to the A shares.
The world economy, how do you think about the status and the position of the Chinese economy and the Indian economy? How do you think?
Well, in terms of the global situation, of course, these countries are being impacted by what's happening in the U.S. and Europe. There's no decoupling. Everyone is impacted.
No decoupling.
But the domestic economies of these countries are so large and the potential is so great that they will be able to weather the storm. They will be able to recover very nicely because of the domestic demand.
How about Russia? It's the same?
In Russia, the case there is more commodity oriented because Russia depends a lot on commodities. There is a good consumer market, but it's not as large, of course, as China or India. We see a recovery of commodity markets, and that will help Russia.
ブラジルに注目する理由は何ですか?
The same reason about Brazil. It's a commodity country.
Brazil is a mixture because you have a very vibrant domestic economy with very good companies and banks that are very consumer oriented. Plus, you have the commodities.
It's kind of balanced there.
Yes, they're more balanced. And they not only have minerals, but they also have agricultural commodities. For example, it's about 70% of the world's tomato juice, orange juice, comes from Brazil.